thanks. Like, hey, Scoob, did you hear Nikki Blake is hosting a Scooby-Doo panel? No. Yeah. Like on today's Scooby-Doo episode, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy meet Nikki Blake. Yeah, and a Scooby Panel. Like, we need to get this puppy started. Okay, Nikki Blake, take it away, Scooby-Doo.
Welcome to the Scooby Panel. I'm your host, Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com, and today we're talking about how to throw the ultimate Scooby-Doo party. Before we begin, I will have everyone introduce themselves, and Joel, will start with you.
Hey there, I'm Joel from the YouTube channel Plant Scooby.
Wendy.
Hi guys, I'm Wendy Bridge. I'm a commissioned artist. I've been collecting Scooby for over 30 years, and it's not a party without Scrappy.
Now I have to go home. No, we'll let Scrappy stay for this one. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine. So we're talking about how to throw the ultimate Scooby-Doo party. And why are we talking about this? Because this month was Scooby's anniversary, but we can say it was his birthday. And I just thought it would be fun to talk about throwing a Scooby-Doo party, because I know a lot of people are looking for ideas, and who better to get ideas from than people that love Scooby-Doo and Scrappy, I guess.
Thank you.
So to me, the most important thing of any party is the cake.
Okay.
Would you do a cake or cupcakes?
Ooh. This is interesting because that is not something that ended up on my list of things that we needed. And now that you've said it though, it's like, yeah, I feel like cupcakes are more practical for eating, but a cake is more exciting to look at. As long as you don't get weird, like these people these days that have this, like, have you seen the videos where they're like, ooh, new ways to cut a cake? And you end up with a slice that's like that wide. And they're like, oh, it's perfect. Yeah, no. If the slice of cake is not like that big, don't bother giving it to me. So I think maybe a Scooby party, like a cake would be better.
Joel, what do you think? Cake, cupcake?
I think it depends on who's coming to the party. I think a younger audience and what the party's intended for. Is it a birthday party or is it just a party, right? So birthday party, I think a cake, maybe some side cupcakes. Adults, probably, yeah, probably the same thing. I think I'd have both. Cake, cupcakes.
I would go with a cake because I just feel like a cake is better. You can do really cool things with a cake. You can throw fondant on it and turn it into a giant Scooby-Doo. Or you could just have a sheet cake and you can put an edible image on top of it. You can put cake toppers, which is great because then they end up in your collection. So it's a bonus. Cupcakes, I guess they'd be better for kids, but I don't know. There's something about cutting the cake that I just feel like that's just important in a party.
Yeah.
So I personally would definitely go with a cake. And with cakes, you can make your own cake. So I've made a few cakes in the shape of Scooby's head. There's the Wilton cake pans, so you can just throw the batter in. It comes out looking like Scooby and then decorate it or not. You can, like I said, get the edible images. Walmart has a bunch of them. I was looking on their site. They have Scoob, they have Be Cool Scooby-Doo, they have the monster truck. They have a whole bunch of different ones. How would you design the ultimate Scooby-Doo cake? Joel?
Oh, I think,
Tough one.
yeah, it is a tough one. I'm thinking like a mystery machine cake for some reason. And then maybe like the cake batter's like kind of tie-dye, like 60s.
Ooh.
So, I mean, like the best part of the cake for me was always like part with the icing, but then you see it tie-dyed, kind of not tie-dye, but you know what I'm saying. Mix of colors, and then you're like, ooh, extra excitement. But I also like cake sometimes where you get Scooby toys and you can like do a scene, so you could have like a haunted house cake maybe, and then get some Scooby toys and then kind of put them in there. I like that kind of idea too for the ultimate cake.
And what flavor would you do?
For the castle, chocolate. For the tie-dyed, it would have to be vanilla because wouldn't really work with the colors.
True. Wendy, what would be your ultimate Scooby-Doo cake?
I think like a vertical sculpted Scooby, like a full body Scooby-Doo sitting there, and a little Scrappy maybe too. Obviously, I would not be the one paying for that cake. I might try making it, probably not. Like, that's a nice thought. And I would like to sit here and lie and be like, oh yeah, I would totally do that. Yeah, probably not. I would probably make one out of cardboard and be like, let's pretend it's a cake. But yeah, if you were gonna go all out for like the ultimate thing, and depending on, a plain Scooby would be cool, but you could, if you were going to like double theme your party, so it's not just a Scooby party, but it's also like a scary Scooby party, then you could give him like a fondant cape, you could give him little fangs, and you could have like a giant vampire Scooby in the middle of your table. And then you probably would not want to eat the cake at some point, and everyone would be like, we want the cake though. And you'd say no, because this was like $10,000 and I'm going to resin it, encase it in, you know, some kind of clear acrylic box and put it in my collection for all of eternity. And if you want to have cake, go out to the store and buy your own. That's likely what would happen, but that would be a very cool Scooby, I think.
That would be a really cool idea. Yes. And I think I would have to agree that having a full-size Scooby-Doo as the cake would be really cool. But yeah, like you, I would not want anyone to cut it. I mean, could you imagine cutting through his head?
No,
That would be awful.
no. See, this is where we need Joel's idea. So we have that Scooby cake, and then we let everybody think that's what it is. And then we're like, haha, joking, here's your cupcakes. And everyone eats cupcakes and we just leave the cake.
I like that idea. It's perfect. Would you do invitations or would you just send an email? And if you do invitations, are you making them? Are you going to use like vintage invitations? How would you do it, Wendy?
Yeah, definitely need invitations, like actual ones, because let's face it, you're probably, if it's a Scooby party you're having, everyone that's coming collects Scooby on some, you know, to some degree. Maybe not as extreme, but definitely you're not going to invite Scooby haters to your Scooby party. So everybody's going to want something to like have and remember the party by. So definitely, I think I would make my own. I think it would be cool to make it so that there's like clues in the invitation. Now, I don't know if this is going to translate well, me trying to explain it. Like, obviously, you can't get too crazy with this, but like, for an example, time and place. So use some kind of Scooby reference from an episode, and people have to like guess. So, for example, the time, the number of clock faces that Big Ben had in The Night Ghoul of Wonderworld. It had 4 clock faces, which Sherlock Holmes tells us, so it's at 4 o'clock. The place, your clue could be established 2007, home of Daphne's adopted sister. So it's Scooby Addict, it's Nikki Blake's house. I think you need to do something that has like clues in it. Maybe something simpler than that, I don't know, but I think that it's kind of a prerequisite for Scooby. You got to have a little bit of mystery there.
And it definitely guarantees that you only have Scooby fans at your party.
Exactly.
Joel, would you do invitations? And if so, how would you do them?
I really like that clue idea, and there's like endless possibilities. But I'm not that smart, so I probably just brown construction paper, shape a Scooby, and then like come here, when, that. But I really do like that clue one. And I think I'd make it too difficult. So I was just alone at my party, alone with all the cake and cupcakes. So I'm sticking just to the simple.
Then you don't have to worry about having to cut the cake because no one will care.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably make invitations. I always used to make my kids invitations. So whatever theme their party was, we did I would just make them. And I made one of my kids actually look like he had his own Pokemon card, and that
Cool.
was his invitation for his party.
Mhm.
So I would do something like that, but Scooby related, and probably because it's mystery themed, you know, those little things where you put the red thing over it and it shows.
Mhm.
I would do that with the
Oh,
invitation.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
For food, you have to have food at a party, especially a Scooby-Doo party, because Scooby and Shaggy love food. I was thinking definitely Scooby snacks, so like Scooby Grams, Scooby fruit snacks, or even make your own Scooby snacks. A hot dog bar with different toppings,
Oh,
because I figured Wendy would like the chocolate.
I love that.
A huge sandwich, or just like a table where people can make big sandwiches. What would you have as far as food, Joel?
I would love to have like a make your own pizza little thing for little kids if little kids were there. And you could have like, you'd have normal toppings and throw in a few weird ones, but not too weird. You know, you don't want gummy worms on your pizza. So
Right.
I don't know what you could maybe, what would be weird enough without being too weird, but that's what I'd probably do. And I like the sandwich idea. I was also thinking if it's near Christmas, you could do gingerbread, but do haunted gingerbread house and have
Oh,
like a little project for each person. Um, Problem with that is you get so much sugar just all over your walls. Don't ask me how I know this. But yeah, 100 gingerbread house, build your own pizza, the sandwich. I like the idea of a chocolate fountain, but every time I've seen a chocolate fountain, it ends up on people. Tends to. So I'd still have one because it's funny to watch people get covered in chocolate.
I don't know what kind of parties you go to or what kind of gingerbread houses you make, but I have made them with my kids and we've never gotten sugar on the walls. And I have a chocolate fountain and it has never like exploded onto people. So
I
you're definitely having more fun than me, that's for sure.
yeah,
That is the moral of this story. Wendy, how would you do food for a Scooby party?
I would definitely go like malt shop style foods. So definitely milkshakes and hamburgers. Some kind of like deli bar. Again, I'm clearly not paying for this party, but I would love to attend it. Where you could make like giant sandwiches or just anything like in the submarine sandwich type category, because to me that's like splurging. So I think that would be perfect for a Scooby party. Sodas in tall fancy glasses with like fun straws. I think that would be fun. And then definitely like either a table or like a time after, after there's like, well, I guess you don't necessarily have to have like a start time of like, oh, we're eating now, but like at some point have like a section that is for the weird foods. And obviously you can revisit Scooby Panel food specific panels to get ideas for what weird stuff is from Scooby, because definitely it's got to be stuff from Scooby-Doo. So, like Nikki mentioned, of course, the chocolate covered hot dogs are a must have. There's just no getting around it. We need to have those. Absolutely no one bring corn on the cob, though, because we're not ever doing that again. Never. Even if no one ate this, I feel like you would be obligated to make one, like an actual one, not just a prop, but with real food. Someone needs to make an actual life size, you could eat it if you wanted to, Shaggy snack.
Mm.
So the pot pie with a pizza crust, anchovies, pepperoni, cherries, all in that thick chocolate sauce. If I went to the trouble to make that at the end of the night, I would absolutely try it. I think I would. But yeah, that one would kind of be more like, let's look at it for fun. But anyone who was adventurous could maybe like take a bite of that. But I think that would be a lot of fun to have at a Scooby party. And I would be interested to see how many people would brave taking a bite out of that.
I would probably try it if someone made it. I wouldn't make it myself, but I would probably try it if someone made it.
Okay.
What would you use for the crust? Would you use like a Chicago style pizza, or would you use like graham crackers?
Oh no, definitely like a traditional. Like I probably wouldn't. Usually I make my own pizza dough, but for this I feel like I would just go and buy some like pre-made and then just make sure that like my dish had like an edge on it, and I would just force that crust in there so that it would form like a little bit of like a side on it, like a giant pie plate. But yeah, just like a traditional, because that's, she said pizza crust.
Did
Yeah,
she say
Daphne said that.
Oh,
So I'm just thinking like the plain old, I mean, they're kind of cardboard-ish, the ones you get at the store, but it kind of is on par for what you'd be making with it.
mm,
So I think that would be perfect.
Yeah. Plates, cups, napkins. Are you buying Scooby-Doo ones, or maybe just the colors that you associate with the gang, or just any random plates, cups, napkins? Wendy?
Yeah, I think maybe just like a color theme, like a Scooby color theme. Maybe give people the option for their napkin color. Maybe purple and orange and green, and maybe blue, I guess we would need in there too, because I don't know that I've ever seen a brown, I don't know that I would want a brown napkin. It just doesn't sound, yeah, no. And just like plain colored plates and things like that. I think I would let my Scooby decor sort of like speak for itself, and then just stick with like colors for everything else.
Joel, are you getting Scooby plates, cups, napkins, colors of the gang, or just plain?
I have nothing against brown napkins. I do colors as well. Yeah, you can't. Real Scooby stuff belongs on a shelf behind us, not in
Great.
someone's hand where they're gonna throw it in a recycling bin.
Yep.
It's too valuable.
Yeah. I would buy the Scooby plates, cups, and napkins, but they would end up in my collection. And then I would also buy the colors of the gang and have those for the party. Because my intention would be to use the Scooby ones for the party. But then I'd really think about it and be like, people are going to throw these away. And we can't have that. So
Yep.
they would never make it to the party guests. Decorations for the party. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with decorations. You can make your own. You can make those stand-ups that people could take pictures with. You could even make it so that the faces of the gang, or if you're going to do a villain, that they're detachable, and then somebody could stand behind it and it's their face in it. There's a lot of stuff that you can buy. Walmart has stuff. Oriental Trading now has a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff that you can buy. There's yard signs, happy birthday banners, centerpieces, balloons, all that stuff. So what decorations would you have at your ultimate Scooby-Doo party? Wendy?
Well, first off, it's not a Scooby party if it's not in a haunted house. So we need phony cobwebs and candles and candelabras if they can be found. Definitely, though, I mean, at my house, we probably don't need to spring for the fake cobwebs because there's probably enough real ones around. But for everybody else, yeah, let's get the fake ones. I like the idea of, in the same spirit as my Scooby's Clues painting, finding props that would be like items that are specific to certain episodes of Scooby. So you need a skull. I keep thinking of that stupid golden mask, but I don't know that I've ever seen a Halloween mask that you could just spray paint gold. But surely you could do some kind of like dummying on that. But like the golden mask from Mystery Mask Mix Up, you could get a bunch of little red chili peppers, sprinkle them on the table, like don't eat them, but you know, as a stand-in for the peppers from Zombie Island. Throw a random gold hoop earring on the table and some like phony rubies or something. A foam pumpkin. If you want to carve it to look like the Headless Horseman's head, even better. Velma style glasses. Absolutely. Just chuck those in there. I think that would be the most fun. But also if you wanted to really go out Again, keeping in mind that the only people at your party are fellow Scooby fans and collectors, so you don't have to worry about people touching your stuff. Raid your collection. Plush Scoobies, fun toys, and do like little sections to decorate your room with actual collectibles. I think that would be the best ultimate way to decorate for a Scooby party, is with actual Scooby stuff. And again, don't invite anybody that you don't want, that you don't trust to not touch things that are not theirs, obviously. If you really wanted to do extra work, I think it would be cool to make props of all the different style Scooby snack boxes and just like have those up. You could literally just like take an empty box, print off the front of each one of them. Surely you can find a screenshot somewhere, print it off, slap it on the front, and then just like throw them all over the place. I think that would be fun. You could do paper Scooby snacks. Don't recommend carving them out of clay because that will take you forever. I've done it. Just make them out of cardboard. It's fine, and paint them. And if you really wanted to do this, and Cameron actually got me this one time and it actually really, really worked and it was super cool. Scooby themed flowers. Pink, purple, green, orange. It is surprising how obvious when you first see an arrangement with just those colors that you immediately think Scooby-Doo. So absolutely giant Scooby bouquet of flowers, maybe with like a little Scooby stuck in it or something, or better yet, like maybe like a little cutout of Scrappy and a heart and just like tuck it in there. Like you get on Valentine's Day flowers. I think that would be perfect. Again, I don't know who's paying for this party, but it's not me.
Joel, how would you decorate your party?
Well, you both covered everything, really. I think definitely the stand-ins that you mentioned, Nikki. Those are cool. Streamers. I like streamers. No one mentioned streamers. I would think, so the episode with the creeper, the barn dance. I'm thinking maybe have the party in a barn.
Oh.
Because I like that party. I wanted to be at that party.
Is the chick invited?
Yeah, for sure. All chickens are invited. And even the creeper is invited, but no one's gonna like, well, I don't know if I want everyone to leave at a reasonable hour. I'll come back to that in another panel. I'll have to sleep on that one. But yeah, I like the cobweb thing too, and having it kind of like a haunted barn theme. I would not trust any of you around my Scooby stuff, so I would not bring any of my stuff.
Joel.
I didn't mean you two specifically. I mean Scooby fans.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And yeah, I like the cutout thing. It's we live in a TikTok world or whatever, so it's fun for people to snap pictures and whatever. Yeah. The food's gonna be a decoration too, because I'll have icing all over my walls and people will have chocolate on them. So
There you go. I would probably have glow-in-the-dark footprints
ooh.
all
Oh,
over.
that'd be fun.
And I really like the idea of the haunted house kind of theme, but where each room would be decorated like something from the episodes.
Oh,
Because I think that that would be really cool.
that would be cool.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think there's just a lot you could do with decorations, and whether you're having the party inside or outside will make a big difference as to how you're going to decorate. But
Yeah.
there's, stuff that you can go online and you can print so that you can hang it on the walls, or the little things that you can put on toothpicks and then you can stick it in like the food to make little signs. And you can do so much stuff for any party, but a Scooby party. Yeah.
Yeah, you could even take, because there's a lot of like high quality stuff going around now. It would be so neat to print out like a like an actual Scooby background on like a canvas size and take pictures in front of that where it's just the background and you like sort of in that. I think that would be really cool.
I've seen people do the mystery machine where it's like a wooden mystery
Mhm.
machine and the windshield is cut out so you can stand behind it and it looks like you're driving. That's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
And then you can save the cutouts and put them on your walls. So, bonus. It's a bonus. Are you having party games at your party, Joel? And if so, what games are you having?
I don't know. Like, I'm not a big party game person because I'm not the kind of guy to like get everyone's attention. I'd rather have people just kind of mingle. But if it's little kids, probably, yeah. But I'm not that inventive, so maybe it'd be like pin the tail on the Scooby or something, or maybe a pinata full of I don't know what. I've the only reason I want a pinata is because I've never been to a party with a pinata, and I've been thinking about pinatas for a while. But yeah, I'm not that inventive with party games.
They do make it seem like piñatas are at all parties. Like when
Right.
you watch something on TV, there's always a piñata.
Yeah,
I've been to very few parties where there has been one.
I've been to
Yeah, I've
zero.
never seen a real one.
There
Oh,
was a Scooby one, but
Mhm.
if I owned that, that would not be hit. That would just be a collectible.
I'm also doing bobbing for apples because I was in the Halloween one, and I've never been in a party with that either. Except we had grade school. They just did a bowl, and it was just really weird. It wasn't fun.
Bobbing
I'm
for
still,
apples is hard to do.
isn't
Right.
it that I've never done it, but it looks impossible to me unless you can actually get down to the bottom and push it against the bottom.
Yeah.
Like how's that a thing?
It's not an easy thing to do, that's for sure.
I think it depends on the apple because
Yeah.
like the Macintosh has that kind of like a ridge. If you get your teeth around that,
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, that's
but
true.
if it's very round. It's I think trickier.
Okay.
Yeah. Wendy, are you having party games at your party?
Yeah, I'm also not big on games. I would rather just like mingle around. Um, but I think this is the time to mention this. It's not a game, but it might be jumping ahead, but it goes with your question, so I'm gonna have to say it now. At the end, like towards the end of the party, I think like the grand finale is like a watch party
Mm.
where you watch both What a Night for a Night, because it's the first episode, but also the only game we're having is Scooby Trivia, and the winner of the trivia gets to pick the second episode that everybody has to watch later on from
Whoa.
any of the series. And we all know that Nikki will not let me win trivia because we would be watching Scrappy. 10,000%. There's no way we would not be watching a Scrappy episode. But yes, so just some Scooby trivia. Not too hard though, like meant to be pretty easy. But the winner's prize is that they pick the episode that you get to watch later on.
That's a good idea. I like that. I didn't even think of a watch party.
Mm.
So, yeah. How could you not watch Scooby-Doo?
Right?
Even if you just have it on in the background, like on a huge screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not big on party games either, but I do think if it's for kids, I would have games, and then maybe I would do like if anybody dressed up, right? If they dressed up like one of the gang or a villain or something, I would have some type of contest where people could vote on who wore the best costume. I think that would be cool. But I mean, you could do stuff like beanbag toss
Yeah.
or bingo or arts and crafts if there's kids. It depends on how messy you want to get to, because arts and crafts and kids can be very, very messy. The last thing I have is party favors, right? You have to have some type of party favor, especially if it's a kid's party. So what is going to be in your goodie bag, Wendy?
So if you can find any that are not like vintage that you want to keep for yourself, for sure, if you can find some kind of little Scooby toy, that's got to go in there. I would love for the bags to be color coordinated with the gang. Purple, orange, green, blue again. Some kind of candies and gummies and just all that kind of stuff. Because obviously you can't get away with putting like gross things in a goodie bag. But if you wanted to make something, I think that you could make some really fun little Scooby faces out of craft foam or even the gang. It would be really simple because it would literally be like probably 3 colors each. And you just cut and like glue them one on top of the other. You could literally take any dead on, like face on screenshot of any of the gang or Scooby, cut it out, cut the pieces out, cut his nose out, you know, trace it onto your black foam, trace his head onto the brown, and then just like layer it with some hot glue. And I think that would be a fun and easy kind of party favor. Like Nikki said, if it's a kids party and you're going to do arts and crafts, you could just have the kids make your party favors for the rest of the guests if you wanted to. They could do that. And again, I'm really hung up on this Shaggy snack right now. Like that is probably going to be my next prop that I make, because I don't know what it is about it, but like the last little while I'm just like Shaggy snack, and just picturing this like little pizza. So for sure, craft foam, Shaggy snack pizza. Just be like, here, you don't want it, but I'm giving it to you anyway. Eat the candies if you want them, and have like the little Scooby whatever I found for you, and just deal with the Shaggy pizza. It'll be fine.
Not that this episode is sponsored by anyone, but again, Oriental Trading, they have a lot of Scooby stuff right now. Pencils, airplanes, little tiny coloring books, rings, slap bracelets, tons of stuff right now that they have that's Scooby-Doo related. And the nice thing is it comes in like, you get 36 pieces, so you can keep one of each for yourself, and the rest can go in the goodie bags.
Yep.
Yeah, it's perfect. Joel, how are you doing party favors?
Yeah, nothing really that goes beyond what you two mentioned. I'd probably slip in a comic book, because comic books
That's a good idea.
aren't that expensive. You can go, well, I go to the Dollar Bin all the time. I don't see any Scooby comics there. But a brand new comic book, $4, which isn't breaking the bank really, compared to like toys and stuff. But, yeah, I probably comic books, some toys. I liked what you mentioned, Nikki. I like what you mentioned, Wendy, with the candy as well. I think that's enough for kids. They'd be happy with a toy, comic book, and some candy. Pencils, like you mentioned, Nikki, that's cool too. I think kids would love that. I always loved pencil, crayons, and stuff when I was a kid.
They do have the little mini Scooby Snacks boxes too, which it's actually very similar to the ones that Devin made. So I would get them from Devin. But yeah, little mini Scooby snack boxes, that'd be awesome. And like Wendy said, to make full-size boxes, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
And fill them with, maybe even fill them with the Scooby Grams, because they have the individual packs, or with the packs of the fruit snacks. That would be cool. I think we're ready to plan the ultimate Scooby party. We just need someone to fund it.
That's exactly it.
We've got great ideas. So that's all I have. Am I missing anything that you guys thought of, or any final thoughts on the ultimate Scooby party, Joel?
Another thing I was thinking of is just like a destination Scooby party. You get like a little bus. Maybe you can make it look like the Mystery Machine, and you just go to either haunted places or some Scooby themed something or other that might be happening, or maybe just pick up all your friends in the bus too, or I don't know. You could do a lot of options with that and go somewhere fun. That's all I really thought of that was outside of what you mentioned today.
We can all go to Abu Dhabi because they have the Mystery Machine ride there.
Yeah.
Go to the Scooby-Doo escape room.
Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo exhibit is traveling now, so if we find that, we can go there.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got options.
The soon-to-be Scooby Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone wants to fund that too, let me know. Wendy, anything that you have that I missed or final thoughts?
Okay, my original thought was to have episodes just playing in the background, but I kind of like the idea better of having like an actual let's, everybody's mingled, everybody's eaten. Let's sit down now and watch 2 episodes of Scooby. Obviously, we're having popcorn for sure, but of course, don't eat it too fast or you'll get the hiccups and potentially turn into a werewolf. So be careful. But so since the watch would come at the end, I think that what you should have playing throughout the entire party is all of the Scooby musical cues on repeat
Mm.
to like set the tone and the atmosphere. I think that would be a lot of fun and potentially less distracting when there's no like dialogue that you're listening to. Because I feel like to me, it wouldn't be good enough to just have Scooby playing on a screen if the volume was off. I feel like it would need some kind of volume, but I'm also a person that gets easily distracted by dialogue and things. That's why for me, listening to music is not relaxing because I can't just hear it. It's like my brain is just like lyrics, lyrics, lyrics all the time. So if you just did the musical cues as your background audio through the whole thing, I think that that would be like a lot of fun. And the only other thing I had is that my Scooby party would have a dress code. Either you come in costume as one of the members of the gang, or if you want to get creative, come as one of the villains. I mean, go and get a sheet at the thrift store, cut some eyes out of it, and come as like the ghost of Vasquez the pirate. I would love to see that. I would love that. Or come in gang colors if you don't want to do like a full costume, just something inspired by, so just like the color palette, or even just era appropriate. So bell bottoms, high-heeled shoes, all that fun retro hippie chic kind of stuff I think would be a lot of fun. Because like I guess the idea of having a dress code at a party is kind of limiting to your guests. But I feel like if you were just like dress for Scooby, that encompasses all of those things that I mentioned. And I feel like everybody can at least find like a shirt that's like an appropriate color or that has Scooby on it or something. Or, of course, like Scrappy. I think that would be fine. But I do think it would be a lot of fun to make sure that everyone was like really in the Scooby spirit and that no matter where you looked or who you saw, it just screams Scooby-Doo. Because like it's Scooby and Scooby's we're celebrating and we're spending like $10 million on this party. I mean, I feel like somebody needs to make friends with, I don't know, like Elon Musk or something. I don't really want to be around him, but he's got lots of money. He could totally fund it and fly us to Abu Dhabi, like Nikki said. Could totally do all that. So like Elon, give us a call. Maybe not, but kind of maybe. I don't know.
I totally forgot about music. I would have Scooby-Doo snack tracks playing in the background.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, because I think that would be, I think everybody would find something on that they would enjoy and people would have fun. Yeah, I don't know about having a dress code so much, but I do like the idea of people dressing in at least the colors, because that would be pretty cool. You could always have people pay their way, like they seem to be doing with most weddings now. I see a lot of people that are charging people to come to their wedding. So
wow.
we'll just charge people to come to our party.
Yeah. And then enjoy our cake by ourselves because no one's coming.
Yeah, I think there's just so many ideas that you can do, and you can throw a Scooby-Doo party that's not $10 million, or that is $10 million. However you want to do it, there's options. You've got options.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think more Scooby-Doo parties need to be thrown, and I think that we need to be invited or at least see pictures.
Absolutely.
I do like seeing a lot of people that are posting pictures of their kids' parties. And they are going all out to do these really cool things. Everything is related to Scooby, including the food. And I just think it's so cool how they get into this, and you know, it's not always super expensive. I've seen a lot of people who have made stuff, just printed stuff, and like I said, put it on a popsicle stick or, you know, a toothpick or something, and they're doing it the inexpensive way, which is probably better. You know,
Yeah, probably.
$10 million party is gonna be tough. Oh gosh. Anyway, we're gonna wrap things up. Before we do, let everyone know where they can find you on social media, and Joel, we'll start with you.
You can find me on YouTube. Just type in Planet Scooby.
Wendy?
On Instagram, I'm Wendy Bridge. Twitter X, Wendy Loves Jesus, and my blog is wendylovesjesus.wordpress.com.
And you can find all my links on ScoobyAddicts.com. Let us know how you would plan the ultimate Scooby-Doo party. And thank you for joining us for another Scooby Panel. Thank you for tuning in to another Scooby Panel. I'm Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com. If you like these panels, please subscribe to my channel for more great discussions. A huge shout out to our patrons, Julie Rosen, Ross from ScoobyFan.net, Tagus, Garrett Spencer, Paul the Scooby Dude, and Jesse. If you would like to support the Scooby Panel, please go to patreon.com/ScoobyAddicts. A very special thank you to artist, blogger, and Scooby collector Wendy Bridge and Joel from Planet Scooby. Scooby Panel is available in podcast form on most podcast platforms or as a web series on YouTube. You can find Scooby Panel on Instagram, Facebook, and X as @ScoobyPanel. We are part of the Collector's Maze Network, where you can find all things geek. Scooby and Shaggy were voiced by Scott Innes. Check out Scott's website, onescottshop.com. Scooby Addicts artwork by Will Davenport. Scooby Panel logo by Garrett Spencer. Video editing by Nikki Blake. Music composed and performed by Bovine Nightmares. Please join us next time for another Scooby Panel.